Thank you for watching News Echoes. My name is Seun Johnson, and I'm so glad to be back. There's so many things laid up for you today, very many exciting things, and I'm not the only one going to discuss them. We have eminent analysts in the house. I'm from the commercial city of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have Bidi Nana. Bidi, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shegu. Thanks for having me once again. Good morning, everyone in the studio, our viewers all around the world. Good morning. Thanks for having us here today. Let's do it like always.
So good to see you all the time. And in faraway Milan, we have Massive Mark Godwin. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, viewers around the world. Dr. Shegu, I'm excited to see you back, looking very good, refreshed, because you were in the home. You were home.
The best,
you were at
the
home.
God's own country.
Yes.
Yeah,
Welcome.
I'm so glad to be back. While I was there, the president of the Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, commissioned the Dangote refinery, acclaimed to be the largest in the whole world. It will be producing 650 barrels of oil every day, but it won't be until the end of July when we will see this oil reaching our pumps in the cities. Bidi, could you tell us what happened on that day? How did Nigeria receive that refinery and the commissioning?
Well, it was a very remarkable day in the lives of Nigerians. And we say Nigeria in the life, they were really happy. They were like, at least this can be done. You know, having stayed for over 30 years without any of our 4 refineries working, and one man just came from nowhere and said, I want to do this, and he did it. And not just that he did it. Do you know that this refinery is sufficient enough to produce about 100% of Nigerian required products? One of the biggest refinery in the whole world with capacity. It was a mixed reaction. Nigerians were happy, but still they won't stop, speaking to Buhari, asking him if somebody like Dangote can do this, if an individual can do this, what stops Nigerians from doing it? What stops Nigerians from bringing one of its 4 old refinery back to life? It was a good thing. Nigerians were happy. At least we can do it. Because all this year, it looks like we can't do anything. It looks like we've lost it in petroleum industry. But Dangote coming to do this, it shows that we can still do it. What I'm saying now is that after this, our 4 refineries will still come to life. Because Dangote has shown Nigerians that it's possible. You know, if you look at what has been happening in Nigeria over the years, it boils down to management. It boils down to management. We've lacked that good and structured management. And that is why we can, as a country, will not be able to structure ourselves together and to come together to build or to even put back our refinery. We already have it 4 good refineries. And now one man single-handedly built this. You know,
absolutely.
I think with this issue of subsidy or something, I think it's going to come to rest. I don't know, but I'm just thinking.
I think I'm as excited as you are. Many Nigerians are excited. Indeed, West Africans are excited. Everybody is going to benefit from this. Let me use the occasion to welcome Ambassador Nat Iyako. Ambassador Nat, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. Nice to be here. Nice to see.
Yes, Massive Mark. You had the excitement in. Thank you, sir. You had the excitement in Bidi's voice, and many Nigerians are so happy that one man can do it, and yet 200 million people cannot do it. How do you react to that?
One man can do it, yet 200 million people cannot. But now it shows that we can do it. It is the government that cannot do it. We are so excited. Yes. Yes, 22 of May, Monday, right there in Lekki, Nigeria, the Dangote refinery was inaugurated. And like you said, Dr. Shegun, 650,000 barrels of crude oil per day. And that's a huge one. The investment has been worth it. But Dr. Shegun, there are some intricacies around that whole thing. One of it is what BD was telling us, that when Buhari came, one of his promises, the early stage of his administration, was to put up the 4 refineries that we have already. And the information we got was there were businessmen that were ready to go into that reconstruction and bring it back, bring those 4 refineries back. But it didn't work out. What Buhari rather did was give more support to Dangote to bring this private initiative. So we are asking, is it, yes, there are 2 things to it. One is that the federal government cannot obviously run such massive industry. It is obvious. The federal government cannot do it. So why not give more people, more individuals, more business people that are ready to go into this? Why not give them that opportunity and not just one man? You see, this is what we're saying. Give more people that opportunity, not just one man.
Okay.
Don't just support one person. Give more people out there that want to come into this. Otedola was saying he had this initiative also long ago, but nobody allowed him. So, but we are happy. It's a great one for Africa, a great one for Nigeria, and for the world, because that refinery, like it says, will be chunking out so much more that the world has never had before. So we are happy.
Yeah.
It's a good news, Dr. Shegun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're glad to start on a good news today. Ambassador Nat, one of our viewers, tens of thousands of viewers, I want to know whether he wants me to mention his name. He just wrote us that he learned that 2 of our refineries have been sold to Otedola and Dangote. We used to have 4 refineries. They were moribund. We are still paying for assessing them. Yet we have just been told by this viewer that 2 of them have been sold to Otedola and Dangote. Will that be a good move or not? Nigeria cannot handle them. Individuals, privately, I mean, those mushroom oil refineries, they are found all over South. And Nigeria could not do its own. Nigeria starts running after these mushroom ones, rightfully so, because they may be dangerous, causing environmental hazards and the rest. But more importantly is that Nigeria has raised up its hands. I cannot do it anymore. They are not working for over 30 years. Let me give it to people who can do it. Is that the best way when we have seen other places like Saudi Arabia and Dubai making use of the same oil to transform their societies? Ambassador Nat.
I think
Ambassador.
he's frozen. I think he's frozen.
Is he?
Yes,
I think
he's
there's
frozen.
a time lag
Hello?
between me and him.
Okay, are you hearing me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you, sir.
Are you hearing?
Yeah, we can hear you. Speak out
Okay.
a bit. We're not audible.
Yes, sir. Go on.
We need to check this information. We need this information Dr. Johnson has just given us that the federal government has. So what was that? I think that's an old story.
That's
We
an old
remember
story.
two
Okay.
was sold to Dangote, but the regime, Nigerian regime came and took back those refineries because Otodola
Okay.
on Monday he said you can now see what that government should not be in any business because it will fail. There were some refineries and the same government took it back. So there's no need two refineries have been sold. You see, the Dangote thing, it was more of a ceremony on Monday, the commissioning. The baseline of Nigerians are handling businesses that we now have to wait to see when we'll get delivery of PMS, kerosene, aviation fuel, and other things. Dangote was talking of end of July or beginning of August. We
August.
we want specifics. We want specifics. End of July is not far, August is not far, but my concern again is that the federal government is asking for 20%. What is the most appropriate word? And when federal government gets into it, the spanners, the works are spoiled already. And how can the federal government of Nigeria, 200 million people, wait for one person called Aliko Dangote to salvage our petroleum industry? And honestly, I'm concerned. We like ceremonies, we like to show off, but the end result is we have to wait and see. Will it work?
Okay. Thank you very
We,
Dr.
much.
Nat, Dr. Nat, let
we
me,
will.
Let
Let me answer that question briefly for you. Can I? Dr. Nat, federal government
go on
already
quickly.
invested $2.7 billion for that 20% stake
Invest in where?
in Dangote refinery. They invested $2.7 billion for that 20%
Correct.
stake. They already done that already.
No,
Okay.
the issue
Okay. Let
is
me let me
when
come
you
in
are not
here.
talking
Let me
investment,
welcome.
federal government
Let
officials
me
want to go
welcome.
there.
Yes. Let me welcome the birthday boy, Sir George, all the way from Toronto,
Ah,
Canada. You're welcome to the program, Sir George.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank
How
you
did the
so
happy
very
birthday
much,
go?
birthday.
and welcome viewers from around the world. Well, this
Yeah.
particular conversation we're having is very, very important, and is
No, no,
very
no. I have a question for you concerning this particular conversation.
talk
Let me
to me.
ask you sincerely, was this commissioning, which was done on Monday, was it one that put Tinubu in his place? I mean, they're not going to produce anything to our pumps till the end of July and or August, but they quickly did the commission while Buhari is still in power, rather than waiting for Tinubu to come and commission it in July or August, so that the history will have been recorded. Buhari commissioned Dangote refinery. What school will you subscribe to there?
Well, the railway was also commissioned in Lagos. We haven't seen the brake light yet. You know what Buhari is trying to do is to gather any crumbs of achievement to his name before he steps down. And the question you have to ask
Mm.
yourself is, why is it for the longest in Nigerian business that one man has been honored by the governments all through oil, rice, sugar? There's always some kind of way one man is holding the bag. What is really going on? No, now the question is, you ask yourself, most traders, most businessmen in Nigeria, they used to import rice, they used to import sugar from the southeast. But why was it that everything that they put their hands to, the government will find a way, to stop it, ban the importation of those things, but make sure that one individual alone is the one that is always honored, because it's from the north. So, I mean, they're commissioning the.
Yeah.
I'm not excited as the rest of us are excited. The only thing that I'm seeing here is the old age question about what do you call it again? The oil subsidy. Finally, because finally I don't think they will have excuses anymore to extend it further, because it's a way for most of these people in there to steal our money. So finally, if this oil, they start producing 650,000 barrels of oil, then maybe the government can now have the balls to say, okay, let's stop this. But also, like I was saying before, one of the things that they need to pay attention to, the oil subsidy. The government already went to the World Bank and wanted to borrow a certain amount of money to help the so-called poor people in Nigeria. And that process is already begun. Let us make sure that the money that they are requesting, that they are not getting that money and eventually will end up in private pockets, because it will happen. Mark my word.
Okay. One of our viewers, Abiodun Folusho, has asked, why should anyone be asking for specific date of commencement of operations when it is the private business of somebody? Well, if it is the private business of somebody, the president will not be there, the governments will not be there, Nigeria will not have spent $2.6 billion. So we all have a right to it, and we have a right to know when it will commence. We have our money inside it. And like Sir George just said, it is this man has been given tax waivers and all of that. So we have a right to say, why commission it 2 months or even 3 months, or like Sanat said, even so many months before it comes to pass? We have a right because we have money there. Is that okay?
But the question also, ask Abiodun, whoever you are, I know you're listening to us. Why would not the government spend $2.6 billion, in this one, while we have 4 that are just lying down there and nothing has happened? Why this one and not revive at least 1 or 2 of the other with that same money, so that we could have been continuing, processing oil locally for the let's just say for the local consumption. Let's not talk about exportation now.
We welcome your comments, and we will address to them as soon as we get them. We will address them because we are glad you are watching. So continue watching, and if you want to have any comments, we will address them. That's why we are here. We have to move on. Time is not we cannot spend too much time.
Something little?
Okay, because it is you, Lady Biddy.
Please, you see, what Sir George said that about Dangote, I think it's something that we have come to accept as Nigerians. He made a very salient point there. It's been one person. You know why I said it's like an old story? Because Nigerians are okay with it. Because if you remember very well, Dangote came into cement and the government killed Ibeto Cement. It was Yaradua that came back and gave Ibeto back his license. Do you understand? They've given Dangote, upon giving him loans, he has free access to loan any money he wants in Nigeria to do his business. He has free tax. Even to clear the way Dangote clears his product into Nigeria, it's free. He doesn't pay anything. So for the person Abiodun who is asking question, the kind of business Dangote is running in Nigeria, he runs it with our money. Apart from federal government investing $2.7 billion for 20% stake in that refinery, that is money that is enough for a particular country to build a full refinery. Do you understand? So it is something Nigerians have accepted. So nobody can talk. If you talk now, the next thing they'll say, oh, you're jealous. But it's not supposed to be that way. You find out that the thing is
Jealous
that
is
a lot
even a
of
mild
business,
word. Jealous is a mild word. They will take it on an ethnic level.
a
And so
lot of this, they've
let's
put a
just
lot of business down for Dangote business to go up in Nigeria. It's a normal thing. So
yeah.
nobody's saying about it. But
But
still,
then
we're okay. We're
we're still
happy.
glad that he did something. It's going to
Exactly
give
my
jobs.
point.
It's going to help us. Like Sir George said, at least you won't say there will be subsidy of trillions and trillions of naira. Ah, God help Nigeria. But we got to move on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, we're at the threshold of history. Buhari has less than 7 days to go. Let's take a few minutes to discuss the legacy of Buhari. And I'm going to give everybody 60 seconds each because of time. Okay, let me be generous. 2 minutes each. I want to start from you, Ambassador Nat. Buhari is living. What legacy can we attribute to him? His goods and his bads. But you only have 120 seconds.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. When Buhari came in 8 years ago with security, economic, anti-corruption, 8 years on, where are the results? Has the economy improved? Has the security improved? Has anti-corruption battle won anything? Honestly, from my own view, if you ask me, we are as good as still in 2015 when he came in. Uh, people are shouting second Niger bridge. So what? Kanu Abuja Expressway, and so many of these project railways that was started by Jonathan administration, and all this man is doing now is commissioning, even commissioning uncompleted projects. And so really the country has been thrown back, let's even say 50 years or so, and we shall see. Time will tell.
Okay. Thank you very much for time management. Massive Mark in Milan, it's your turn. 2 minutes.
Yes,
Buhari, pros and cons.
the end of the era. Pros and cons. The man came, he made so much promises. He did very little, but he's not seeing it so, and his people are not seeing it so. They think he did impressively well. From our point of view, as Nigerians in the diaspora, monitoring Nigeria, following updates and occurrences, in a scale of 1 to 100, we will give Buhari, we'll give him 45 over 100. Thank you.
Wow. You must be very generous. Bidi, it's your turn. Buhari legacy. What did he do? What did he not do?
Buhari did a lot, and Buhari did not do a lot. Buhari is leaving office with unending killings in Nigeria. Buhari is leaving Nigeria with 77 trillion debt, 25% inflation in Nigeria. You know, it baffles me because this is a man who, to us, is a grounded man because he was a former president of this country. He's a general, and to a lot of Nigeria, he is our integrity, and he came with a lot of promises. Do you understand? Buhari, like Ambassador Knight said, Buhari keep commissioning uncompleted projects. The second Niger, the thing I don't understand about Nigerians, when we praise our politicians or our government of doing something, I sit back and say, did they take money from their pockets to do this thing? It is our money. And the process they are doing that, we still pay them. It's just because we don't understand our positions as Nigerians. That is why we praise these people for doing it. Now, second Niger bridge has been in the news. Do you know that second Niger bridge is not operational now? And it's not going to be operational in the next few months. And we keep making noise. Buhari, like a massive mic, he said he gave him 45%. I don't even know what I will give him. Let me just give him 20%. He was my president. He didn't do well.
Well, thank you very much for putting it into number. Sir George, it's your turn.
Well, I like the man as a person, but when he was, I came to Nigeria during the military regime of Buhari, and I didn't even know that Buhari was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. All I knew was Idiabo. So during that time, Buhari rode on the coattail of Idiabo because he was a ceremonial commander-in-chief. And I told people, I said, you can't trust this man because he was not, he did not show us anything that he was capable of doing. But yet, because of cycle of government among them, he came in. Today, Nigeria is poorer, more insecure. Many more people have died than necessary. And, so you're talking about percentage of what you're going to give him. As a matter of fact, I would be very happy to give him 15%. Honestly speaking, out of 100. Because, think about it. In his regime, we thought that finally, after him being so sick and spending millions of Nigerian money in the hospital, that he would have at least left a little bit of glimmer of light of legacy for his name during this election. But he made sure that stinky attitude of his whole entire image passed on through Mahmoud Yakubu to turn over the same cycle of government, recycling government among themselves just took place. So tell me, what would you give to such a man who will come out and be talking nonsense without even thinking? All this stuff they are just doing is writing it for him. It doesn't come from him. They write it. He likes it, and go and read it. So
thank you very much, sir.
Just commissioning uncompleted projects and everything. I don't.
Let's be fair to him, Sir George and BD. I want to say that he came to also a battered economy. Take note that PDP had ruined Nigeria, was on the threshold of the pit economically and in all wise. So,
I totally disagree with you.
Let him finish.
Hold on. Yeah, so PDP dragged us down to the pit, and he came. Also, take note that there are powers.
And he came and did what? He came and did what?
He came and buried us.
He did his bit. Let's just put it like that. He did his bit. But Nigeria is a huge country. Nigeria is not a small country. Nigeria has a large population. Nigeria has also a fragmented structure and arrangement, scattered. So it's not easy to put things right.
Thank you.
Well,
Didi, in 10 seconds.
Massive Mike, I want to agree with you. He said that PDP dragged us to the pits and Buhari APC came and buried Nigeria. That is it. Now, excuse me, maybe probably because you're sounding this way because you're not in Nigeria. I want to go practical. I don't want to speak grammar now. I want to go practical. When PDP was in power, I know this was not good, and that was why Nigerians voted for change. They sold to Nigerians. They said change. We are going to make things to get better. And what did they do? They came and things get better. Now, I didn't. As Shegun said, he gave us sentence today. See, Nigerians are in pain. Nigerians have never been divided than they are in time of Buhari. Nepotism is what is English, is a grammar that we used to speak. But today, nepotism is a person living in Nigeria. Discrimination is what people talk about. The people in the Southeast, they talk about discrimination, marginalization, and people will be bold to tell them, don't say that is not true. But this time around, somebody from Southeast will tell you discrimination, and somebody from another region will say it's true. Because of what Buhari brought. Buhari has divided Nigeria. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay.
Now you're talking about PDP. During the PDP, Nigerians can still eat. 2 square meal. Now, most Nigerians are struggling to eat 1 square meal. Am I going about the prices of food? Now, they say we are the highest production of rice in Africa. But still, through the PDP, we'll buy rice, 15,000 naira a bag. Today, rice is 48,000 naira, and they said we are the highest producer of rice. I don't understand this logic.
Sir George, 10 seconds. I know you wanted to say something, Sir George.
You see, part of the problem is that when you give, people, what I call the Babylonian type of system, they are there suffering and they are smiling. It doesn't matter to them. But if you give them the type of bondage that is in Egypt, you give them the slightest chance, they run away. What we're seeing here is, like some of these people that are there, they used to the suffering, they grew up with it. So to them, it's a lifestyle. It's okay. Whatever we get, we take. It doesn't matter. So
yeah,
it's so
we just have to go. Thank you, Sir George. I know you have many things to say, and I do have many things to say. But we have to go on a short break. When we return, Tinubu's presidential inauguration loading. Ambassador Nad, be
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in south-south Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still bringing news and analysis of Nigeria to you so that you can have an informed opinion. Right now, all over Abuja, the Tinubu presidential inauguration is loading. Holiday will be given, and people have been told that the whole area around the Eagle Square have been cordoned off. The protesters are saying they're going to stop it, and the military organizations in Nigeria say, we dare you. So the place is going to be well protected. And we observe that the Western leaders are falling over heels to cut the love and attention of Tinubu. We understand that the United States President Joe Biden has prepared a list of people going to represent him at that place, not less than 10. The former Prime Minister of United Kingdom, Tony Blair, has gone to visit Tinubu, all of them on diplomatic missions to prepare ground for what is going to be the Tinubu era. Well, to be or not to be, Shakespeare once said, that is the question. Tinubu inauguration loading against all prophecies and analyses, yet there are still challenges to come. Now, I want to ask Ambassador Nat, what are your impressions, to be or not to be? Or it's going to be a wonderful time come the 29th of May, Ambassador.
Thank you. Let's start with the 26th of May, which is this week, Friday. The Presidential Tribunal panel considering the petitions against Tinubu's presidency, they will decide on the 26th of May whether Tinubu's election should be, whether himself and Shatima should be disqualified. Because there is this issue of Shetima having two nominations. He wanted to go back to the Senate, and he had filed in his nomination papers, and the Tinubu
Did he file it
nominated
with
him
INEC?
as.
Did he file it with INEC?
Yes, he did. Yeah, in fact, that is one of the key things they will decide. And then Tinubu nominated him as vice president. We remember what happened in Bayelsa State. The governor to be was on the parade ground preparing for swearing in the next day. And the court said, no, go back home as another citizen. Your deputy was, his papers filed with INEC had careless. And so if Tinubu survives May 26, 2023, the inauguration 29, but the tribunal has up to end of September to bring out a final judgment. So we're all sitting on edge. Some of us who are really concerned Nigerian citizens, that the constitution is there, the law is there, the right thing should be done and seem to be done, but we don't care in Nigeria. Anything goes.
Sir George, this will be the greatest nullification of all era. If on Friday the judiciary did the rightful thing, if it is true that this man double nominated himself with INEC, not his political party, it will be the greatest nullification of all era. Can the Buhari administration have the guts or not? Or somebody will look for technicality somewhere and just dismantle the whole thing? Sergio.
Are you talking about the shambolic pseudo democracy we have in Nigeria, or are we talking about another country? It's a laughable situation, my brother. Ambassador Nat, I honestly speaking, number one already, the simplest thing any country could do is to allow the camera to come in an organized fashion in order to hear what is going on behind the closed doors. And in essence, really, this judiciary department in the arm of the government is coming to you and telling you, why are you expecting to bring cameras into that place? Are you comparing us to O.J. Simpson's situation? Are you comparing us to another individual who had some sexual situation? That's an example they're giving you and me. So telling you actually that this, in what I call the enlightened derelicts, can't even, and they call themselves the judiciary, can't even find, competent reasons to give for not allowing the public to listen to what is going on behind closed doors. Why are they disallowing the cameras in there? Kenya did it. Kenya, small country, our little sister back in the eastern part of Africa. So what you're really saying, the impetus of the government, to come and choke us with another selection, recycled person to come and rule us. It's just, the whole entire thing is a laughable situation. Because,
but the inauguration is loading, and the countries all over the world are coming to bow down.
My brother, let me tell you something, please. I will be the happiest person in the world if I was to hear that, the judicial arm of the government came together and decided to do something for the very first time that we can say, oh, wow. But there is no hope there. The same way there is no hope in the government. When Buhari came into power, with all the promises he made, he ended up leaving the worst government ever in Nigeria. That's the same way he will live with that legacy. Because it's a legacy of lies, a legacy of corruption, a legacy of nothing. That's exactly what this government is. So, and that's the way they live it.
Thank you, sir. Lady PD, I put the question again to you. Tinubu inauguration loading, will it be or not?
It's already on.
Of course it will be. This is Nigeria. We are Nigerians. It will. Because we don't have the capacity, the strength to get what we want as people. So what we've been getting is what our leaders, the 10% group who have decided to, program our life the way they want it to be. So Tinubu inauguration has come, and it will be. I keep telling you, they said
even in the face of what Ambassador Nat said, there's going to be a ruling on Friday brought by PDP as a party, not one man somewhere. And you think it will
Sir George, I listened to NTA this morning. That Garba Shehu was there, and the DG of Voice of Nigeria, I've forgotten his name, they were there. And they talked about public holidays on Friday. There's going to be a lecture. So courts might not hold. Well, I'm even surprised why it is not open till now. I'm surprised why I'm expecting the news for NAN to send me the news. They've not sent it to me. But they spoke about the public holidays on Friday for lecture. The presenter was asking them that there's a lot of time on 29 to do everything. They said no, that they don't want to stress people. The world power, they will be coming. That remember that people will fly in, that they are fly out. Do you understand that? So the only thing they are going to be doing on 29th was for the incoming president to speak deliver his speech. So they are going to do a lot of things from Friday. So I don't think court will hold on Friday. Because they spoke about the public holiday on Friday on NTA today. I'm saying it I'm on national television, but it's not in the news yet. So I don't know how they intend to do that.
In Nigeria, it is possible. Thank you very much. Massive Mark, before you come in, let me use that opportunity to welcome Godwin from Moscow, Russia. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me. Thank you, viewers and panelists. Good to see you all.
Yes, we're going to ask you your own question in a moment. Massive Mark, Tinubu inauguration loading, yet so many cases in the court. The one on Friday, we've been told that if nothing else, they sent it to Friday. But if there is a public holiday, that will be a joker. Won't it?
Yeah, that would be a joker. But I mean, what is surrounding this whole election and the presidential swearing in is too strong and too much, too massive to just play around things. It's a shame. I want to say this directly to the international bodies. It's a shame that President Biden announced presidential delegates to the Federal Republic of Nigeria to attend that inaugural program. It's a shame also that the one-time UK Prime Minister Tony Blair had a courtesy visit to our defense house, Abuja, talking with Tinubu. Now, this all shows that the international body doesn't care about Nigerians as per Nigerians. They only care about their interest with Nigeria. So we all know it is not a hidden thing. We can't we can't bend our mouth to say it. What brought in Tinubu into this presidential thing is a sham. That wasn't an election. That wasn't anything to glory about. So why do we take it further on Monday to swear him in when everything surrounding that whole thing is a sham? So yes, they can do what they can do. Like the article said,
massive
PDP,
man.
PDP
Nigerians
presidential
and non-Nigerians are listening to you.
Yes, sir. The
Yeah,
PDP
and
presidential
I know how you feel.
Yeah, the PDP presidential
But from my own
said something that
Yeah.
I'm running with to conclude. He said, well, that could just be a ceremony on its own, but the real presidential candidate will emerge. So we're standing on
Okay.
that with those words. Thank you.
Okay, those words are powerful on their own. Now, let me just say that people who are excited that President Biden nominated people to represent him, I thought you were going to say that's a shame because the largest and most productive country in Africa deserve the presence of the American president. If not, then his vice. For him to nominate undersecretaries and the rest, and the APC people are jumping around, is an insult on his own if you know what diplomacy is all about. It is not something good for the image of Nigeria. They are sending retinue of undersecretaries and the Nigerians are getting jumpy about that. But well, it is what it is, like Nigerians will say. Dr. Ibe in Moscow, let's move on because of the topics before us. The second Niger bridge, I understand, is to be called the Buhari bridge. Is that correct, or is just somebody who woke up somewhere?
I am not aware of this development in terms of it being called the Buhari Bridge. I've seen some reports, but I don't know how true it is and how reliable it is. But yeah, I think I have more to add towards the inauguration than on this topic. And
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I would say that while you guys are talking about the inauguration, I'm thinking about the Thanksgiving service, the one that comes later, because the kind of impunity we have, it's not, the tickets of the guests, they have already been bought, it's not like it's refundable. It's not refundable tickets. The hotel arrangement have already been made. You understand? So let's stop. Stop living in La La Land and just accept the reality of what is on ground. Of course, some people are not happy that there will be a court case, but let's look at Seun's case. Remember Seun's case before he was released? He was supposed to meet in court, and what happened? The magistrate just did not show up. You can pull so many rabbits out of this hat. So this particular hat, you can pull so many rabbits out of it. So don't stress yourself. Yeah, I would like you. I personally, Massive Mark, I would like you to take a chill pill. Drink some cold drink on that day. Yes, and watch your pressure. Don't.
Have some suya. No. Let me say this. Let me say this of what you were saying. You remember the case of when Tinubu was taken to court for having a foreign account, and which he was not supposed to do as the governor of a Nigerian state. And when it got to court, instead of them to discuss with the evidential presentation that was done against him, Femi Falana argued on technical issues, and the case of whether he had foreign accounts was not discussed at all. They just on technical ground, the case was dismissed. And so whether he had 10 foreign accounts or not did not even surface, and he got away with it. But I want to ask Ambassador Nat, can Tinubu do without the North, in even if it's inaugurated on Monday and all the rest? Is Ambassador Nat still there?
No, he
No.
dropped off.
Oh, okay. Sir George,
Technical
the
issues.
Northerners have said they made Tinubu, and they subtracted all the votes of Southwest from his votes and said, look at the number of votes. He's still the leader of all the three leading contestants. And so even if Tinubu is the president for the next 4 years, the North will always hold him to ransom, won't they?
Well, it's a deal that was made. Imilakon means that we discussed this behind closed doors. We agreed that I will support you for 8 years. After that, you hand over to me. Please don't disappoint me. And therefore, that deal that was made behind closed doors is what actually came out. And that's why Buhari is obligated to do what he is doing, to make sure that the man gets in there. Now, Shetima, who is the vice president, all these things we're talking about, I mean, the greatest advice I've had in all of these things is what Dr. Ibe just said. Take a chill pill. Because, yeah, that's the only thing we have to do. If we
I wanted us to hear
anything,
from Ambassador Nat.
yes,
Will the North hold Tinubu's regime to ransom?
of course, they're
because
controlling him already.
Nat, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
can.
Yes, we can.
What's really happening is like the northern governors who supported Tinubu supported him for their own selfish ends, bargain horse trading, and I'm telling you the truth today. They want Tinubu sworn in so that even when he's disqualified, Shetima may survive. But the northern oligarchy, the northern politicians, they don't have any respect for Tinubu. They don't even think Tinubu is a Nigerian.
Okay. So we go into this inauguration with all sorts of challenges, and I just want to give us one more. Who wants to contribute? What kind of regime are we going to have in the next 4 years if Tinubu should survive? Who wants to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. But if you say living in Alice dreamland, it would not be a too pleasant regime, because already we are entering into it with animosity, ethnicity, tribalism, and all these things are playing out. So it's going to also heighten up more. Some people are going to be in that regime for vendetta, to take their shots at the other people. Some people will be there. You know, it's already, we can see his key people is not well represented. The geopolitical zone of Nigeria is not well represented in his key offices for now. Talk less of when we get into him picking ministers and ambassadors and all that. So it's going to be a very queer regime, if it will be. But I don't see it happening, Dr. Shegun. That's
so, Bidi, what are you looking for in the Tinubu regime when it comes to pass?
Dr. Shegun, I don't even know what I'm looking for.
Think in terms of security, think in terms of anti-corruption, think in terms of commerce, you know.
Dr. Shegun, what can I be looking for from a government that is starting with lies, starting with faulted foundation? What will I be looking for? If I look for anything, I might be asking too much from them. I don't even know what I'm looking for.
Okay, Sir
Honestly,
George, because I'm just mindful of the time. Sir George, what will Nigerians be expecting? In case of February, they were expecting security, it didn't happen. They were expecting anti-corruption, it didn't happen. But here is Tinubu, the man who got the greatest number of votes, 8 million out of 250 million people. So please be shaking already.
What you're expecting is what has been is what will continue. The Northerners muscling and making sure that they are in control of everything, and that's all that is going to happen. They have already planned, orchestrated, put it together. Tinubu is just nothing but a little puppet they're going to use. That's all it is.
Dr. Ibe, do you agree with that? Or Tinubu, they say he transformed Lagos. Is that a kind of transformation principle?
No, let's say some facts as much as we would like to be negative. There are some things Tinubu is good at, and number one is he's good at putting his people in places, and they are always top in terms of climbing up the ladder. So I expect to see more of his people in governmental positions. That's number one. Number
and that
two,
is very
he doesn't
good as far as
really.
you're concerned.
No, I'm not saying that's good. No. Of course not. That's not good. It's nepotism.
Okay.
But I am saying it's nepotism, obviously. But at the same time, that you ask me, what do you expect to see? And that's exactly what you see. Secondly, you will see some projects. They might be overvalued. They might be run by his people, but you will see some projects. They will be marketed, obviously, as helping the people. They might help to some extent, but it might be overpriced, overvalued, and maybe. Well, I hope he surprises me positively. But looking at his tenure as the governor of Lagos, I can see there will actually be some projects, but how effective it will be a different question. And also, the Southwest will experience some development, even if it's going to be some localized development. For example, the railways, which Buhari has now given regions the right to develop. I expect that that the southwestern region will see some more accelerated development in their region, and of course we are going to see more of the Northerners having their way because Shetima will be the person to really do most of the operations. So I think what we'll see in his tenure.
Oh, thank you very much for your balanced analysis.
Sorry, can I say
even though
something in 1
some people may
minute?
challenge you, yeah.
Sir, Dr. Ibe, so in general, what you have said is that Tinubu regime will empower nepotism. That is what you've said here.
And tribalism.
Yes, there'll be nepotism. Yes, and there'll be tribalism. Yeah, but there'll be some projects. I think there'll be some commercial projects.
Yeah, he said Southwest. He's not the president of Southwest alone. He's president of Nigeria.
Well, yeah, you should understand that the way things work is that whatever project that is run is operated by a company, and some people are stakeholders, are shareholders, and they get the bid. They win the bid. Who wins the bid? The shareholders benefit. Okay. So it doesn't matter where it's.
I
want to ask Mark in Milan. Seun Kuti has been released. What lesson have we learned? Nigerians love the police officers because all Nigerians rallied and supported the policeman who was slapped and police institution. Is that the lesson we have learned?
Yes. It's not a pleasant lesson. Seun Kuti didn't do well. He didn't do right. You don't touch somebody on a federal uniform, regardless of the situation.
But they didn't detain him like a Kanu. They did not put him forever there. He's been released.
Yeah, he's been released. Like yesterday, 7 o'clock, he was released, but under a lot of conditions anyway. It's not like a total release. He has to
be back. Still going back to court. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let me just stop you there, not because I want to, but because of the time. Can I, on behalf of us, all of us, wish Sir George a very happy birthday. Enjoy the next of the 365
Happy
days ahead
birthday,
of you
sir.
and
Happy
beyond. We
birthday.
love
Wish
you
you
very
all
Happy
the
much.
birthday.
And
best. Happy
it's on that
Happy
birthday.
note
birthday. We
we
love
say,
you.
Love you,
God
love you.
bless
Don't worry, I will
you.
send your
And
cake.
then we'll get in touch with the rest of the people on Friday. God bless us all. See you on
Long
Friday.
live Nigeria.